So here we are, Reinsby Gard. It's August. It's August in 2021. Just a little farm walk around to show everyone where we're at with everything. So here we are, market garden. We've had varying degrees of success this year. We've had quite a lot of things being eaten. We've had a lot of beans, we've had some things that have just absolutely run away from us. Got had a lot of snow peas, or sugar snap peas rather. This is one of our bloemsterstrippen in English. Sorry, it's flower strips. We've got a mixture of clovers in here, crimson clover. I can't remember the name of all of them, and they've all been flowering at different times and bringing in lots of pollinators. This is the mangold. Sorry, in English it's rainbow chard. So all up we've got just 12 beds here, 10 meters by 73 centimeters wide. It's got the cucumbers here. These are pickling cucumbers. Very yummy. Yeah, so we've used a compost mix to plant into, which is very rich and seems to grow things very well. And we've put that over the top of this field that we're in, which is not been used for potato growing for a lot of years, and underneath we've got a lot of couch grass in English, kveke in Norwegian, and it's, from what we've learnt this year, this is some kveke, this with its long roots. It's a symptom, as all weeds are, a symptom of compacted soil. But when I say the weeds, we're starting to look at weeds as they're a symptom. We call them soil indicators. We're starting to call them soil indicators, or look at them as soil indicators, because we've got spring onions here. Weeds seem to have a function. They turn up at certain times when they're needed. We haven't been weeding because we want to see what comes through. Yeah, so anyway, I'll take you around the rest of the roughly, I think it's 3/4 of an acre that we have here this year. Obviously the plan is to extend into the rest of the farm. If you have a look over here, we've got potatoes growing over in between here and the mountain. Potatoes all the way over there. We've got potatoes down by the lake as well. So yeah, here we go. We've got another flower strip here that we planted, approximately 2 meters on this side of the kitchen garden. And then walk over here. As I mentioned before, we've got another flower strip here that's been flowering for months now. They've been bringing in massive amounts of pollinators, mainly bumblebees. Let's get over here. So yeah, the rest of the farm is potatoes grown in a conventional way using chemical fertilizers. Over here we have, this is our patch of potatoes. It's just 22 rows that we've done this year. Shit, what's happened here? Now what we've done, everything's starting to die off because it's the end of summer, but we have in these rows, let me get a good shot for you. As I say, everything's starting to look a bit shabby now, but everything's starting to die off and look a bit ordinary, but we haven't weeded in here either, and we've been treating, we've been working every night treating these potatoes. Here's the potato plant. As you can see, there's a little bit of problems here. Each night we've been coming out and spending an hour with the potatoes, treating it with compost tea that we've been brewing up. And what we've done is, in between the potato, planted peas by hand and buckwheat. This is buckwheat, and that's when you look around, you can see all the plants starting to die off at the end of the summer, which is what we want actually. We're not going to harvest any of these buckwheat or pea plants. It's a nice buckwheat. But they've been growing with the potatoes the whole time as a companion plant to give us nitrogen from the fixation of the peas, the field peas that we've had here. They're all, as you can see, they're drying off. And the buckwheat, it's either phosphorus or I get my words mixed up now because of the language. It's either phosphorus or potassium. I think it's phosphorus comes from the... There we go, we've got another potato plant here. We've had some issues with cicada. But we have been pulling up some potatoes, and in all honesty, the potatoes are actually looking very good under the ground. I'm pretty happy with it, considering this is ground here that when we started this year, it was just a trash yard. This land had been used for the last couple of years, maybe 5 years. Hadn't been used in agriculture at all. It had just been used as a storage yard, like for boats and old sunbeds from the family's gym in the village, and old just trash and insulation and things that couldn't be just tossed away easily were kind of stored on this, and we had to move all that while there was still ice on the ground. And we've tried to grow something this year, as you can see, without chemicals, and it's a pretty mixed result. But I think when you check in with us in a few weeks, we're going to have quite a lot of potatoes out of this. Even though these potato plants are not looking so healthy right now, they seem to be dying back in my father-in-law's yard as well. So here we got peas dying off, and we've got the buckwheat. They're all going to seed and doing their thing, but hopefully they're providing nutrients back to the potato plant instead of us using chemical fertilizers to do so. And we go across the potatoes here, and we've got our cover crop. Now this cover crop is made up of vetch, is the English word for this purple flowered one. We've got bumblebees all through it. It's deafening, sound of the bumblebees. We've got the crimson clover here. So much of it. I'm going to walk out here. Hopefully I don't get stung. But this was all bare ground and had been bare ground for a few years, except for the stuff being stored on it. And now I can't even, can you see this? I can't even touch the ground because there's so much foliage. Hopefully down in here, yes, it's still wet, even though we haven't had rain. So hopefully we're protecting the soil a little bit here. But yeah, we're pretty proud with how this has grown so much in these last few months. You know, in Norway here, this was just bare ground without anything on it except ice and snow and all that other infrastructure and bits of rubbish that I was talking about. However, everything just jumps to life here, and we have now it's August. It's been growing for 3 months, so we've grown this in just over 3 months. It's, to me, that seems like a lot. Go over this way, out of this cover crop, because I can barely walk through it. I'm scared of getting stung by bumblebees. Oh, as you can see, some of the vetch has made its way into the potato field, which isn't great, but pretty great view here. That's Norway's biggest lake, Mjøsa. A very nice place to do some farming. And we'll go right over to this side, across the potatoes. Sorry, peas and buckwheat as well, don't want to leave them out. These plants are starting to look very good. See, there's not so much damage on the plants here from the cicada. These are looking like very healthy potato plants. And we've got weeds, or as you call them, weeds, in amongst everything. Like I said, we really haven't concentrated on weeding this year because I don't think weeds are the enemy. We don't know everything yet, but pretty sure that weeds are not the enemy. Weeds are here to show us what we need to do. Anyway, over here, I think it's actually possibly even higher. We've got more cover crop right up there. Just a little bit is where the kitchen garden is, and that's what where we started. Now here we have a tiny house. I can't take you inside today because we actually have a guest staying there. So this summer, lovely guy from Oslo named Odd, he approached the family about having this tiny house on the farm, and we agreed to it. And as you can see, it's grown into the field really nice, and we've been hiring it out on Airbnb. It's got a smashing view of the lake. We've been hiring it out on Airbnb to anybody who wants to stay. And being summer here, and with the pandemic, people have been staying home, or being forced to stay home. So yeah, that's your quick tour of Reinsby Gard 2.0 in August 2021. So we've managed to do a kitchen garden, which is not taking up a lot of space, but it's, as I said, it's 12 beds that are 10 meters long by 75 centimeters wide, and we're amazed at the amount of stuff we've been able to grow with that. We've got approximately I think 1,000 square meters of potatoes mixed in with the buckwheat and the peas. We've got 2 extensive areas of cover crop, which is a mixture of different clovers and vetches and some buckwheat and some peas, and just not leaving any bare ground, as the principles of regenerative agriculture kind of talk about extensively. And then we've also got the flower strips on either side of the kitchen garden. And then we've got also here in the background, we've got the tiny house, which has been a runaway success for us this year. So that's kept the money rolling in, at least. Yeah, so we've done all of that on 3/4 of an acre, roughly 3,000 square meters, I think, that Audi's, my wife's dad has kindly given to us. So yeah, I mean, I think it's been a very successful start to moving to Norway and starting to farm and starting to learn. And I mean, I'm pretty impatient to get started with everything on a bigger scale, and some bigger enterprises of potatoes and pigs and worms as well. And yeah, but we've done, in addition to all the things that we've planted and looked after here, we've also been doing compost teas every night for months on end, and learning about that, and doing compost tea mixed with seaweed extract, seaweed concentrate, and we made fish hydrolysate as well, and we mixed that in. And then we've also done Epsom salts for addressing magnesium issues. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of videos to do just here, and this is just what I can kind of come up with for you right now. So yeah, hopefully we'll put this on YouTube, and if there's any questions or anything you'd like to see videos on what I might have mentioned, I'm happy to do so for you. Just let us know in the comments. Anyway, welcome to Reinsby Gard, and it's hopefully going to be a very big operation in the future, much bigger than 3/4 of an acre. But yeah, you've got to start somewhere, and this is our starting place. So we'll see how it plays out. Thanks for your time. Bye.